Yeah.
Starting now. Ricky dancing as Zarek would be
We
very
did
stereotypical.
it! We did it!
Yes.
Woo!
Is it live on YouTube? Are you able to see it?
Oh, oops. Yeah, I should probably double check that. Let's see,
Yeah.
my
The only reason I
goofy.
ask is I've got, oh, that's a multiple. Yeah. Chat. There we go.
Yeah, it's live. We're live.
Okay, cool. Why is chat not working for me? Okay. Hello, hello. Yes, thank you, Mike. Thank you. I'll have to sign into chat, but I'm signed in. How am I not signed in?
Oh, I don't know.
Dude, I swear, it's like can't get away from technical technical issues.
Every time, every time.
It's like
um,
a
yeah.
meme, you know? We have to keep the meme alive. I guess I won't be able to chat on my
Really?
side because it's not letting me log in. But I'm logged in OBS in YouTube, so that's how I'm streaming. That's why I'm so confused.
Oh,
Anyways,
wow.
yeah, it looks like all my stuff is looking good. I'm seeing the sound from both of us. Yeah, is Ricky loud enough, everybody? We sound okay. Oh, Salty Nick, you're awake, number one. Isn't it like 2 a.m.?
You stayed awake just for us. Thank you so much,
It's like
Salty Nick.
3 a.m. Salty Nick, you're going to be really salty tomorrow. I got the stream dad joke. Dad joke of the stream is out.
There we go.
Yeah, technical issues, the next big Indominant supervillain, exactly. We'll have to create a character that's literally called like, I don't know, something slightly less on the nose, but still very on the nose, like tech
Right.
problems or something, I don't know. Troubleshooting or troubleshooter, I don't know, something fun like that. But yeah, let me update and see where we're at here. So yeah, 15,251. We are fully funded. And yeah, now the next goal is um, the first stretch goal, right? And then Ricky
Mm.
and I were talking. Um, we're gonna make some changes to some of our stretch goals, make some updates, and add some more achievements. So
Yeah.
um, just keeping it fun and within reach, help people feel excited enough that it's worth trying to like push towards the next milestone, right? So.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because it's worth it, and we want to be able to do things that can say like from the community backing us, we're able to do this thing.
Hmm.
Especially being able to like put that in the book too. I've seen different creators do that where it's like, hey, this was driven by the community, voted on, or whatever it was, right? So just
Yeah.
really fun stuff like that. So it's like, hey, well, while we're here, let's try it.
Hmm.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but wanted to jump in and say thank you times a million here, just for being able to believe in us, and step in and say, hey, we really want to push this through the finish line. We want to make this happen. I saw a lot of people like posting stuff here and there, and trying to get more people in. So that's awesome. That's community, right? So making a dream come true, honestly.
Okay. I think, sorry, Flail Snail, but I just updated our little Nightbot because I've noticed a couple things that aren't really a problem are getting moderated. At least not yet for us, at least I should say.
Yeah.
Not to the size where we're having big problems from like,
Right.
fun stuff like emojis. So that should not give you trouble anymore. Okay, yeah, so we're here to just kind of have fun, celebrate, chat with people, answer questions, did you post in the Discord that we're live? I mean, I know we posted earlier, but
Yeah. Yeah, I put it in the announcements. I just said we're live now.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
And then
cool.
replied off your message. But yeah, so many things, man. I mean, this is going to allow us to get tons of art. Can't wait. Milton is going to be working nonstop on brand new, fresh art. Um, for the book, right? So many concepts and stuff that we want to throw out there that we'll finally have funding for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm really excited because I was thinking about this on the way home.
Yeah,
Hello, noveler. I was thinking about like, okay, we need to start finishing up the playtest packet because we had started working on s- uh, level 6 content, so we'll have to
yeah,
finish up. And just to clarify, everything up to level 20 is done, but we've made some modifications to stuff, and we haven't like retouched all of our wording and verbiage for those
yeah,
that higher level stuff, like those powers. And so we're not like working on that stuff per se. We're gonna make sure do like a balance pass and just make sure everything like makes sense and feels right. But yeah, we've actually designed the entire game, but there's just modifications and there's changes that
yeah.
we've got to update throughout things. And so that doesn't mean that everything that we have is final, of course. That's what playtesting is for. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's literally it. It's just getting the testing in, right? I'm doing this at scale. There's only so much two people can run with two different tables at a time or a couple tables at a time, right?
Hmm.
So, and then hearing so many people say, "I'm running this week," or "I'm playing," I took the primer rules and I'm going to go and make my own power set. Like that's just so many amazing things.
Hmm.
But yeah, all
Yeah.
those things to say, like more and more people playing is going to get more feedback in. Um,
Hmm.
it's wild how much the game design Discord chat has been like blowing up, man. That is
Hmm.
just so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Really
yeah, and then
excited
just
for all of that.
yeah, the conversation back and forth on it. I think too, like a lot of things aren't. It's not like all the things are set in like concrete or whatnot. Things can still be moved around and so on, right? We found some issues on the primer even, right? That we made some quick updates on. But
Hmm.
it's like things like that we could just kind of still tweak around and move for sure. That's the whole point of the playtesting. So
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, one of the most awesome things, it's something I've been really excited to see, but is the homebrew stuff. Like people are already so excited that
yeah,
they're making their own homebrew content. It's so cool to see people try to like, look at what's there in the primer and then make their own things based on that, right? So,
the
and
novelers
Noveler,
at
is that
super
Jesse?
super speed.
I wonder if that's one of the folks that was talking about it a lot. But yes, I think we'll see what happens. I mean, there's one more architect slot open um, in the backer kit, and so there's room, there's potential for
Hmm.
a super speed to get done soon. Um, but
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Frank. Appreciate it, man. It's your help, big time too, man. So thank you.
yes, thank you very much, Frank. Oh, it is Jesse. Awesome. Yeah,
Ah, there you go.
so definitely excited for that one. It's one that we've had this conversation a lot, like this talking point of which power sets, like, do we feel like we've covered enough of the concepts of superheroes? And then, you know, even with 10, it feels like just because superheroes are so broad, like
Yeah.
10 isn't enough. And at the same time, though, we don't want the first book to just be like 400 pages and be so much content that like because
Yeah,
that means we'll have to take longer to get the book out, right? And
that's
so
true.
for us, I think keep the book a little bit smaller, and then also for us, like it's our first game that we're designing, so more of a bite-sized chunk for us to take out. And then also, like I mentioned this recently too, is we chose ones that were a little bit more simple and straightforward and easier to like balance and create for because
That's
we
true.
know like this is our first go at it. Like there are some power sets that really need to be done right, you know. And I feel
Hmm.
like super speed is kind of one of those ones where it can become way too overpowered, way too fast, and like um, yeah. So
Way too fast.
yes, yes, way too fast, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everything needs its time. I mean, if you
Hmm.
think about these, uh, besides gadgetry and psionics, all the other eight powers have been around for like 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years for some of them, right?
Hmm.
Um, Gadgetry, I think, more like a year and a half or so. Psionics about the same where we wrapped it up, but
Yeah.
it's been, cooking for all that time and really been played through and so on. So yeah, these other ones that are brand new powers, they need that same love and attention, and rightly
Hmm.
so, so you can pick it up and have fun with it.
Hmm.
Um, and then let the home brewers homebrew.
Yes,
So,
yeah, and exactly like we already mentioned homebrew. What's the other one? Stasis and activity, I think, or something like that.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and Mike just mentioned like the other aspect that matters about the game design is um, if a power set is just absolute hell for the comic editor to play to like deal with, that's not very fun for them too, you know. And so
exactly.
the comic editor to us is a player, and we want everybody at the table to have fun. And obviously it's not like the comic editor's against you, but they have to run the game, and sometimes if things are a little too crazy, it makes it hard to run and it makes it hard for them to enjoy it. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like when the supers are too strong, right, against everything, it's like, oh man, like how can you challenge them to have a good time? Like you go
Yeah.
to the gym, you want to be challenged at the gym, you want to get a workout in, you don't want to just like walk around, right? You have to be
Hmm.
able to have fun with it too. So, but yeah, being able to balance all those things out is super crucial and important. And I think the playtest too will be working a little bit of the like threats and whatnot, just kind of tossing out a couple to be able to play around with. That way you have some at your table to be able to play during that playtest.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the vibes of gadgetry and psionics. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so important, making sure the balancing is just right. Because ultimately, it's being able to just like jump into that power set, being able to make sure that you can like really jump into that role, enjoy it, and take ownership over it. I like when I run gadgetry, like I imagine I'm between either Batman or I'm Rick, right, from Rick and Morty, and I'm just I'm having fun having all these gadgets go out there and making it my own kind of story and how those things are created and how I do those things. So
Yeah.
yeah, looks like you're showing the new primer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not finished, but we're working on the next version of the primer. I just was
Yeah,
getting it set up that way if someone does have questions, we can pull it up
yeah,
and go over it. So,
for sure.
yeah. And then had to shut off my camera there for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, I
We're
know you're good.
we're
You're
moving out, and my wife's
good.
dad is here helping us get ready, especially because I'm not home most of the time for work. I'm traveling, so uh, he's staying in our office, which is where I am right now. So he had to grab some things.
You're all good, man.
Um,
Got to do your thing. If I move this camera like a foot to my right, there's just boxes.
yeah.
So it's funny. Zarek and I are both having life experiences right now of moving, getting new
Hmm.
houses. As we're launching this thing too. So it's
Yeah.
I think it's funny how things come together like that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And Mike, it does. You can't reach perfect balance, or like there's going to be some things that just can get broken. Our goal is
Yeah,
more so to try to like limit or protect against like just regular use or every situation being an issue, right? I think there's some niche ones where it's going to maybe make for a hard moment for the comic editor to manage, or it's going to just completely break an encounter, and it's going to
yeah,
happen, and that's okay. Um, but yeah, just trying to protect against like, oh, every time super speed is used, the players just win automatically, and
Yeah,
you know, it's really hard to balance. Like speaking of, you and I were just talking about GM's day off earlier, Ricky, and like
yeah,
I'm not criticizing Blaze with this, but he tried to make a very like on-brand super speed character, and he said it's already been nerfed, and the guy was like, I think it was gold actually, funny enough. Um, he was like one-shotting a bunch of the enemies, and like it's so hard to keep it on brand and like
yeah.
not too OP at the same time. So I think that
Hmm.
one is going to be really hard actually. It's going to probably be the hardest power set to balance. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like how we did with like trying to do flying at all. You know, there's not
mhm.
traditional flying at all in the system. We're gonna you'll probably see in the playtest our optional rules for jumping in midair and like doing combat midair and like how that looks before you start falling, just things
Yeah,
like that. And that'll be the limit of our flying. But it's the same reason, right? Like if everybody could fly around, then it's like you just always fly, and just
yeah,
take everything from range. So
hmm
it's that kind of balance. So
yeah. Somebody in our Discord had a good point. Like they mentioned that you can just play it where everybody is flying around. That's like the thematics, and you
yeah,
play the mechanics as they're written in the book where there's no flying, but thematically everybody's zooming around, and so it can be fun that way.
yeah, there you
You
go.
need a little bit of suspension of disbelief with like the ground effect powers, but still,
Yeah,
that's a way to have it. And then, yeah, we have like two iterations we're gonna try of flying. I think what Ricky mentioned, which is would be like an optional rule of like temporary flight, and every archetype has their own way to do it. And then also just like I have an idea for like just a status effect where it's kind of like hovering, where you ignore ground
yeah,
effects and like maybe obstacles and stuff like that. But um,
yeah.
yeah, definitely don't like the counting of like, okay, how high up is he? Like that always
Hmm.
gets pretty difficult.
Yeah,
But
that man, because it slows
hmm
it down so much, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you want the fantasy, but you definitely you want it to be quick.
hmm yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, D&D and Optimize. Yep. And Caleb mentioned it's that's funny that you didn't see a Batman style character out of gadgetry. I guess Batman is kind of a mix of like
Yeah,
martial arts or slash weapon mastery and gadgetry, Um,
yeah.
so,
Those batarangs, man.
hmm yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like we have like the glue stuff that Batman uses, like we have powers like that in
Right.
gadgetry. So it's definitely inspired by both for sure.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have questions? We got 15 people in here right now. Thank you everybody for joining.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you so much, everybody who's joined. It's because of you that we're making this happen. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. All the support is why we're here and why we're now talking about getting our art plan together and uh, excuse me, and yeah, just
Yeah.
having everything get going.
Yeah, what you'll see from us here, we were just talking before this about what videos that we're going to be posting. They're mostly going to be around the big mechanics, whether it's drive, momentous actions, or hybrid action economy. We're going to kind of make like 5 to 8 minutes videos that are just quick ones to show off that this is that mechanic. And I think later in the campaign, we'll try to actually make some things that are kind of related more to the lore and the story of why are some of these species here, or why are they in a team together, those kind of things, just to help set up some of the stuff that you could do and you could use at your own game table. So looks like Blaze said did not do a
Yeah,
super speed character. I did a
I
ICC crocodile.
Ice Crocodile. Yeah, I misspoke. It
Oh,
was not GM's Day Off. It was in the Ishan Econ Arena.
oh,
Um,
okay,
that's what I
okay.
was talking about. But
There you go.
um,
Yeah, so he's a comic editor book, going to be a separate backer from
Kit.
D&D and Optimized. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm assuming you mean Backerkit. And yes, this first one, just for us, being a small team, just starting, fully funding this so far ourselves until this point. The way crowdfunding works, I think, funny enough, DM Lair just did a video kind of talking about this, but if we were to do all three books at once right now, we could not have had a realistic goal because that would have been like $50,000 or more. And as you can see, we've raised $15,000 now. And so we would either not succeed or we would have to have a goal like 15,000 and then we would have to risk making enough to successfully fund and now owe everybody what they paid for, um, or
Yeah.
risk, yeah, and then like what happens with all that extra money? Like we would have to somehow come back and ask people for extra money. Granted, like maybe we would make more money on the campaign, but we did not want to risk that for our customers. We wanted to make sure that what we were doing was something we could for sure accomplish and provide without having a fake
Yeah.
goal. Like our funding goal is legit. That's what we need to produce these books at cost for us. And
Hmm.
so it's a passion project for us. And so in doing that, we needed to do it one book at a time. Well, not necessarily one book because we're going to do three core rule books. I
Yeah.
think with our next one, assuming we've continued to grow enough, we will do where it's all three books are in the next campaign. And then obviously we would have packs for people who already got the SIC in this one. And so, and then we'd have packs where you can get all three books, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it all work together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's a big thing too. Like trying to, I think, test out all of those rules while also trying to build out all the stuff for the comic editor and our threat index, our monster book, if you will. We're calling
Mm-hmm.
it a threat index. But for both of those kind of books, it requires even more thought and more testing, more, really sharing, different aspects of that with the community and trying to build it appropriately. So that way by the time you get the actual thing, it's well thought through. It's something that you've been able to pick up yourself even and really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's a big part of it too, is like just making sure that we separate those out. I think with this now, this is just going to streamline everything. At this point
Yeah.
now, it's like we
We'll
can rock and
focus
roll
on
with the
this.
SIC,
Yeah, we'll
and
be
go
able to
from there.
focus on it, get it play tested properly, and we mentioned before in other streams, we will have a like comic editor's little document for playtest packet, and then we
Yeah,
also have the primer that has information like that. But we'll include some threats for those levels. Those threats will be getting some playtesting, but it's not going to be like a full thorough focus on the comic editor stuff. It's mostly going to be focusing on the player side, but we will absolutely be giving the tools for the comic editors to run the game.
yeah,
And then Caleb
absolutely.
said, I think it's because I saw a bunch of mad scientist-esque inventions from the power names and thought of Dr. Doofenshmirtz. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Could definitely see
There
Batman
are
using
some
that too.
goofy ones. Yeah,
Oh
there are
yeah,
some
yeah.
funny, goofy ones. Again, we've said this a couple times now. The actual role play aspect of any power, you can, make it be anything you want, but essentially
Hmm.
the mechanics work the way it's described. So yeah, so even like the goo gun could have been something else that you're like you're capturing somebody in.
Hmm.
Or whatever it is, a portal gun too. The portal gun could be something else that it's like you've shot out to be able to actually again work the way it works. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's different stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Noveler's asking one of the hard questions, uh, which we've shown before. I think we can probably we won't show them, but we can talk about some of them that like we're for sure going to work on, but we can't necessarily say when they're going to come out.
Yeah. Or like
Of
exactly
future
which
power
order.
sets. Yeah,
Yeah.
where is that document? I think we need to move it because I can never find it. I have to search it. And you know me, I like to like actually go through our file
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah,
So
our back end is extremely organized because of Zarek.
yes, and Ricky still uses the search bar to find his stuff though.
That's exactly how I found this. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I had to this time. I had to this time too because it's not in
Sorry.
the right place. I'll move it. Um,
That's
yeah, I
great.
think some good ones here. I'll just mark them on the back side here. Ricky.
Yeah.
I think if you agree with me on some of these that were ones we were really kind of confident on. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think super speed we kind of talked about already, right? That one
Right.
definitely is up there.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Well,
like reorganize these for ourselves later, but yeah.
yeah, I think that the community will drive forward some of the ideas. So
Hmm.
so guys, I will say we're looking at a big list in front of us. I'll say
Yeah,
at least that.
we
But I
have.
think the community will
Yeah.
drive down that list and filter it down. You know.
Yeah, we'll kind of gauge based on like what people sound most interested in,
Yeah.
what we kind of put first. But we've got 23, besides just the 10 that are in the SIC, we've got 23 other power sets that we have a list of right now in front of us.
Yeah.
And so I think super speed, as I said, is probably one that will be on the sooner end of the pipeline, along with like dark energy, because that's actually one we had built out a decent amount at one
Hmm.
point.
Yeah.
Shape shifting, anamorphing kind of stuff is one that we've been talking about a lot because that's a fun, different one. And then radiation is another good one that I've been really
Hmm.
interested in before. Um,
Yeah.
those would probably be like the first few on our list of like highest priority to get out sooner rather than later. I also have always liked one energy manipulation, but in my head, I don't think the name explains it well. Um,
Right.
but in my
Yeah.
head, it's stuff like a mixture of Gambit and Cyclops, like those kinds of things, where it's more like
Hmm.
kinetic energy and things like that kind of manipulation of energy rather than like energy beams. Because you can kind of do energy beams already with like light energy. It literally
Hmm.
has like light beams and stuff. So
Yeah.
um,
You could literally just say it what it is, and that's it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I think the community will drive forward a lot of like those ideas. Also, the architect that we
Hmm.
have on our Discord, I think they're listening right now. But being able to like work with them as well on what power set they've got brewing, um, definitely going to be another one that's kind of drives forward like what we're working towards. And I think it'll be expansion books. I guess you can imagine like a zine and other games, right? Like Shadow Dark does really cool zines, right? But I
Hmm.
think those kind of books that we have will try to work towards like, oh, dark energy exists because this is the lore of how it happened. Here's
Hmm.
perhaps a super, like artwork of his cool super and all this, their cool story, blah blah blah, and then anybody can make a dark energy, super, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So there's always going to be some kind of reason behind it. We never just want to flat out just add the thing, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Frank
That.
said, you don't want to have the issue what's he had where they rushed out their new books and already have to fix issues in them. Yeah, and like we've had that with the primer, but we're just two dads and like we did get rush to a degree to get it out.
Yeah.
Um, and we haven't had a massive group of playtesters, and so we did miss a couple little things, but that's also a free PDF. So there is a physical
Yeah.
copy that people have bought, but we did kind of preface that that's like our first book. It's hasn't been
Yeah.
like professionally edited or reviewed like that, and so that was kind of something for people who really supported us to
Hmm.
help us kind of leading up to this backer kit, right? So
Exactly.
and hopefully we prefaced it properly that that was clear. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Plus,
yeah.
there's always the updated PDF, but we're also sending emails to the community as well. Like to anyone who follows, which is how we are still giving away the power, the primer. It's via email, so it's sending them emails like, hey, we made this major update, or we've made these updates.
Hmm.
Keeping a log of all those. I ordered a copy of my own primer and even it will have a couple of things that I'm going to have to white out or make a little note on for my personal copy of it. So
Hmm.
I think that's just the way with print. But to Frank, your point. yeah, I mean, we're gonna try to catch as many as possible in the playtest
Yeah.
before anything, and then I think this really pays for too the professional kind of person to go in and like review the whole book outside
Hmm.
of our eyeballs.
Right.
Which can only do so much. I'm talking about me and Zarek. Like,
Yeah.
we can only read our own talents so many times.
Right, right. When you're writing them, reading them, rereading them, rewriting them,
Yeah,
and rereading it, like,
yeah,
because always like the first time you write a talent or a power, it's not like the final text or like wording, and so then you're like reading it a bunch, rewriting it, and so then sometimes, and me being a not professional layout person, I was like doing my best to review what I was doing, but yeah, I was trying to get it done, and I'm kind of slow, so I made some mistakes, obviously. And then thank
yeah.
you,
But
Agile Monk.
it,
Yes.
But Zarek, to his credit, I kid you not, I think he's got a design degree or something from this whole experience, and continues to produce some amazing assets and stuff like that. Yeah, I gave my once over of some of the assets that you see on the backer kit, but that was Zarek, man, and I'm like so proud of the fact that he pursued that, so it's just
Yeah.
awesome.
Appreciate it. Always appreciate the praise. I definitely work hard, and I'll never say I'm a pro, but I'm trying my best. That's for sure.
There we go. Yeah. So, D&D Unoptimized, you said, will you be doing playtesting for higher levels as you're continuing the development? Absolutely yes. Basically, with the multiple playtest packets, there's going to be 3 of them. You'll see like multiple powers actually available at higher levels and so on. So that way you can actually go ahead and enjoy that, right? And you can test it out, give us open feedback, and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna do 3 waves of playtesting. We're gonna start with levels 6 to 10, and then we'll do 11 to 15, and then 16 to 20. Um, and so, we're gonna always do internal testing as much as we can. And so we will do internal testing for the higher level stuff while the public and all of our awesome supporters are playtesting, like level 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Um, so, because we also love playing the game too. So, playtesting our own game is an excuse to play and have fun. So, absolutely.
Rolling our many dice that we've spent too much money on. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I think too, we'll have multiple ways of providing feedback. The Discord's always going to be open, but there'll be some
Hmm.
quick tools like some Google Forms and things like that to just drop ideas, drop feedback, and so on. Because at scale, right, we really want folks to be able to quickly and efficiently give us feedback. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
And we definitely want the feedback to translate properly. So,
yeah,
I know D&D Unoptimized and probably a few other folks in here have seen me in Insight Checks Discord. Like, I was not a fan of how WotC did their feedback forms, and so I am like super passionate about doing the feedback forms in a specific way that like really works and gets us so much more information than like we want to take the effort and time people put into not only their playtesting but their feedback and make sure we hear that properly, and process it in a good way and have it be meaningful and impactful to our process. So, and Agile Monk, sorry, I know we kept on talking here, but thank you very much. Yeah, we're super excited. Definitely had some amazing supporters and lots of backers that obviously everybody helped us get here. So, really appreciate that. And Frank, thank you. I'm glad the primer works. Um, it's our good like little first document. So we're definitely going to make this game awesome. That's for sure, Agile Monk.
Mhm.
Oh, and Mike said we did a good job without any spelling mistakes or typos that he noticed. So thank you. Yeah, we hope we did a good job on that. But the ice manipulation, like the little descriptive text or flavorful text, and then the next paragraph that's like the role play use of ice was a copy
Yep.
paste of the exact same text. I have no idea how that happened, but I did it. So
Just the
awesome. Thank
way
you,
it
Agile.
is.
Yeah. And then DM Dungeon Mastery, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Anthony. It's awesome to be here. And yeah, thank you, Dustin White, everybody. You guys are all helping. It's just been awesome to see this process and see our campaign grow and succeed. We're like I said earlier, it's real now. Like we're gonna start working on
Yeah.
the play test packet for real. We've been working on it as much as we can. We've been trying to focus on the campaign, but we're gonna start working on that now,
Hmm.
hardcore. And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh
Agile Mike, thanks for getting the primer. Appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah. We've loved Drive Through RPG as far as like providing us a way and outlet to print out our primer.
yeah,
And grab it really quickly. But at the same rate, it's not as high quality as we'd like loved. So this
yeah.
is kind of like a separate. Oh, Zarek, what's the word when you off print or something? Or no, there's
Offset printing, yeah. So
offset. There
yeah,
you
this
go.
is the drive-through RPG primer version. The cover's great. The cover quality is amazing. And the consistency, that's one thing I definitely will say about drive-through. The consistency of the print and cut is great, but if we wanted to have it be like really good quality, the cost of the book literally itself was, I think it's like $30 cost, like cost to print. And so we would have to charge people like $50 for the primer, which was a huge thing we never wanted to do with the primer. The primer being like the intro book, we did not want to charge people like a full book price for an intro book. So offset printing will be how we achieve that again. We did
Mhm.
do an early run of offset printing with the first version of the primer, and that was affordable to where we could sell it at a low enough price that it's like very affordable for people to jump into. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm interested, Noveler. You said D&D shorts brought you here. That's really interesting. I didn't. We didn't end up being. We weren't able to sponsor D&D shorts, but I wonder, did he say something about our game? That'd be really interesting to say. He did play our game actually. So
Yeah.
and he told us he had a lot of fun, which
Hmm.
I'm sure he was being honest with us. So um, I mean, everybody was laughing and having a blast in that session that Ricky ran. So um, yeah.
Lots of fun.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if we posted something and we didn't see it. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I know. Now I need to go look and like it and comment and tell him thank you. Oh man,
Yeah.
we're definitely, yeah, I know we have a quote from him on our page, but we'll definitely have to um, go give our love and support for that.
Yeah.
And Will has messaged me and like we've just chatted back and forth, and I've asked him some things, and he's super nice guy, very, very nice
Yeah.
and kind and helpful. So
Just an amazing part of the community overall.
yeah. And
Um,
Blaze,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I don't know. That's my answer to Blaze's question. How did we get them to try our game?
That's funny.
We emailed them and
Yeah,
offered,
started with an email.
yeah, I think so. We had emailed them like all the same ones a long time ago, and we just had our primer, and like we didn't have a ton of art assets yet, but we just were like, hey, do you want to play with us? And out of the ones that answered, I think they
Yeah,
all said no. They didn't have the time. And so we tried again, like probably 6 months later, maybe more, and we approached it of you have nothing to do before the session. You pick, you just like look at these pre-gen characters, pick one that tickles your fancy, and we will teach you the game and play the session all at once. You don't have to do any pre-effort. And I think, you know, they're very busy. They've got a lot going on. So I think that can help. I'm not going to say that's the only reason they did it, but I think that might have just helped make it feel kind of easy for them. And then, yeah, I mean, maybe they just liked what they saw. I don't know. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
we didn't
And
actually
that's what
ask,
it
we should
was.
have asked them. Maybe we should have asked them. We didn't ask, like, what made you give us a
Well,
chance?
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you. You
yeah,
know, making our dream come true, right? Been watching
yeah.
you for years, and oh my God, you said our game name. Like what?
Yeah, I totally
um,
fangirled over Colby at the end of our session. I am not, uh, I'm not like upset or like shy about
this
that.
is.
Like, I'm totally content that I told him, like, I've been watching your videos for like 5 years since he's like dang near started your channel.
I think
So,
that's the cool part of it too. Is like it creates this culture of creativity, you know, going around and around, right, and driving those conversations and those thought processes around wanting to build something or wanting to do something. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, Blaze, and for anyone who ever wants to get into game design and wants to get their name out there, I mean, you just keep on trying. You keep on sending those emails, and
yeah.
you do whatever you can to get your foot in the door. I think, right, is a good analogy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
and
but
sweeten the
yeah.
pot, like make it easy to jump in and try is definitely, I
Yeah, for
think, something
sure.
that can help. Um,
Yeah,
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 and honestly, like we've had the same thing, Blaze, where like they ignored us. It's probably not so much that they ignored you, but they might have just missed it. I've talked to like Insight Check and D&D and Optimized, and they've told me like they get a lot of emails about games, and so sometimes it might just get lost in
yeah,
the sea, like you know, because people,
yeah. An
everybody's
email.
like, there's a lot of people who really work on their own stuff, and they're really excited about it to share, and so they do, and they reach out, and then it's hard for them to try. Like, imagine trying to read like 50 systems every month or something, like that would be
Right.
impossible. So,
Yeah.
maybe they just missed them. And then Anthony, that's DM Dungeon Mastery. He is making a system that sounds like a lot of fun. He's making Ravens. So yeah, I will definitely be play
Oh.
testing. It's like a dark, gritty. Um, I guess at least what I know of it, it's like kind
Hmm.
of like what are they called? Uh, is it mercenaries? But in Alien, like just the
Hmm.
soldiers. It's kind of like that vibe where it's like you're
Grim
fighting like,
Dark.
oh yeah,
Grim.
grimdark. Like you're fighting
Yeah.
monsters and you're just people with guns. Like, um, so definitely
Like
sounds like a
no
lot of fun.
hopes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
He's working on some really cool mechanics, and he's been asking me to take a look at them and give my thoughts and stuff. So I always
That's awesome.
appreciate that too. People like asking me to tell me what I think about their game. That makes me feel special. So I always really appreciate that. It feels like an
Yeah.
honor to get that kind of request. So
Yeah. That's so cool.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have
That's
to
cool.
look. I usually try to watch D&D Shorts videos as much as I can. I just got so much going on lately. I obviously missed. He mentioned us in one of his shorts.
Yeah, I
So
saw that note. I'm gonna have to look it up too. I don't know if you guys can provide links in the chat,
yeah,
but
I'm
yeah,
gonna
that'd be
try to
amazing.
super sleuth this one out right now.
Yeah,
And then,
must have been maybe something with mechanics or something. I don't know.
yeah, and then Caleb, yeah, thank you. It's awesome that you're sharing that. I appreciate that so much. And then it's really interesting that they were like, "Oh, I have heard about that." Before you said anything, I heard about that. That's crazy. That like that's crazy to me, for someone to be like, "I've heard about that game." So that's our goal is hopefully people hear about it and they want to play. And it sounds
Yeah,
like a lot of people really are wanting to play. So we're getting a lot of folks joining our Discord telling us, and so it's really exciting. I think somebody said they're running a game tomorrow, didn't they? Like
yeah,
just today
yeah,
in our Discord. So super awesome.
yeah. The turnaround's just awesome,
Hmm.
man.
Yeah. And I
That's so
appreciate it,
great.
Anthony. And I'll happily be your go-to guy. I love talking about game design. And sometimes in the big servers, like Peter's Tales from Elsewhere server, he's got so many people there. I just can't keep up at this point anymore. Like I used to be very active in there, and he's doing a really great job building up a server of designers talking about their games, and I cannot keep up anymore. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
less community though, right? So it's
Oh
cool.
yeah, it's great. It's awesome. That's like what I want to get to with ours, right? But I can only
Yeah.
do so much. I have a limited amount of time. So, and then
Yeah.
with the backer kit, that's been the focus. Like I haven't been super active in all the servers I normally am because I'm very busy. Yeah, Blaze. Yeah, he's getting busy. It's good. Yeah, Tales from Elsewhere is awesome. And then Noveler, yeah, it's funny that you appreciate that City of Heroes was a big inspiration. Um, I had mentioned that in a video somewhere or something, and I think it might have been um, I can't look, oh boy, it's Insight Check in D&D and Optimized channel, Tabletop Trends. I might have said something in there, and somebody was like, obviously this is a bad game, and of course they're welcome to their opinion, but they just were saying that that was like a reason they had no interest. So I'm happy to
Oh.
hear that folks find that as like a thing that makes the game sound intriguing. So
Mm.
City of Heroes was a huge influence for me as a kid. I played it with my whole family, my brother, my dad, and my sister. We would play. I played a lot with my brother and my dad especially. So that's like
Oh,
a
your dad
very
play too?
oh yeah, my dad's a huge gamer.
Your
Yeah.
dad continues to just be awesome. More awesome points.
Yeah. Yeah. So um yeah, it's just City of Heroes to me. I feel like the way we applied it, it's not like we tried to make the game exactly City of Heroes, but
Right, yeah.
just applied some of
It's our
those
own thing.
design concepts. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Cool, cool. Yeah, what other questions do you guys have in the chat? Um, I
yeah, I
think a
wonder
big
if the Backerkit page chat is working. I tried checking it. I'm not seeing anything on the chat on
in
Backerkit
chat.
because
Does it?
we set it up, or I
Yeah.
set it up so that it's going to Backerkit. I'm not seeing any
Mm-hmm.
chat there for some reason. I don't know if something's just broken on my end.
Live
Hopefully
chat.
the
It's
folks.
the same. It's the same chat. It
Okay,
looks like it's
okay.
like YouTube in
For
it.
me, it
Yeah.
looks blank. That's why I was saying that because so hopefully folks on Backerkit are getting to ask questions and whatnot.
Yeah. I think too. I wonder if anyone saw the FAQs that we posted. Those are fun to like be able to make as well, just on the project
Hmm.
itself. Like talking about power scale and how powerful supers are in the universe of Indominant.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
different things like
yeah.
that.
Those are definitely ones. It's nice to have a spot for FAQ like that because um, we definitely need to have those answers out there for people to see because they're ones
Yeah.
that get asked pretty regularly. Like they are definitely frequently asked, and so it's nice to have that there. Though I don't know how like easy it is to necessarily like notice and go to that section, and then it puts like some standard ones about crowdfunding first before it
Hmm.
shows our FAQs, but um,
Right.
yeah, hopefully it's helped some folks. And then Agile Monk asked if we will be offering licensing and development agreement for third-party creators. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I think the last one I saw, so I had been looking at the orc license for a while, but I think I've shifted away from that. And I think we're just going to make sort of a simple license on our own, kind of like the one that MCDM RPG or Draw Steel uses. It'll be a PDF. I don't know if they've since changed that, but last I saw it, it was a web page only that you would have to like export as a PDF if you wanted
Hmm.
your own legal protection. Um, so I think I'm sure they probably changed it or updated it. But yeah, we're gonna have a license and sort of like our own version of an SRD with like guidelines for not that they have to be adhered to, but guidelines for how we design like power sets and talents and things and threats and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely want to support third-party creation. Um,
Yeah.
there's
100%.
yeah, I mentioned it in our Discord server to the folks making homebrew stuff that like we will have a license, so if anybody does want to make commercial content for the game as a third-party publisher, that would be so awesome.
Yeah.
That's just shared success for us, right? Um,
Hmm.
so
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's only so much that we can create. Like, why limit anything for the community? Let them go and just run. And
yeah,
here's all the resources you need.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, especially even
right?
like if it's a power set that we've already created and somebody has a different approach to that, it's so cool to see
Yeah,
like an alternate version of the same concept, you know?
exactly. Yeah, so excited for that to be able to come out. I think yeah, that'll have to be obviously post backer kit and things like that, you know. So it'll be a minute, but we will have that for sure. Maybe that'd be a good FAQ, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we have it
Yeah,
on our page, but why not add it in FAQ? More chances
yeah,
for folks to see it. So, and then Anthony, you
yeah.
do need to play the game, and I don't know if we have necessarily Omni-Man-esque villains. It depends how you're
No,
asking that question. If you mean in
yeah,
like super strength flies around, no, because we talked about the flying thing earlier. Um, there's definitely like some zooming around and stuff that threats can do, or there's some big
yeah.
boss threats that can like teleport around and do cool stuff. Um, but as like a thematic concept, I don't know if we have any like that yet. Um,
No, yeah, not none that strike me as Omni Man, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, we have a lot of people that are smart and strategic, you know, with their powers, right? Like the leader of the Blood Syndicate. And again, like this is the intergalactic mobsters, right? Um, you know, they're head of that is Belos Kane. This
Hmm.
guy's super smart. You know, he is really strong, really powerful. But yeah, he's not kind of like an Omni Man presence, right? Um, but that doesn't mean that you can't eventually, right, homebrew something really cool from that, right? Especially
Yeah.
for your campaign. You know, you could. I think what would be fun, Zarek, is because we've done so much balancing that your super, you make a super that ends up being a villain, and they're like level 10 versus your group's level 4 or 5. You know,
Hmm.
things like that you could ultimately do, you know, and just literally balance out that way because the way action the way that actual threat and counterpoints and all that work out, that can actually work out just fine. So
Yeah, I brought up. I know I did on another stream we did, but here's Balos Kane that Ricky's talking about.
oh yeah.
Yeah, we showed
I
him
always
off
love
before.
I can't wait to have a campaign where like you actually go against him,
Yeah.
so you know.
Yep.
um but yeah, so like with that, again, you can make something great like that. You can obviously make a super that ends up being a villain, which literally we have a calling for villain. So it,
Hmm.
it can't work out any better for you in that regard, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then thank you very much, Agile Monk. That's so cool. I we're younger, and there's nothing wrong with being younger or older, but I wish that I could have like been a part of the TTRPG hobby for a long time. I
Yeah.
first played when I was a young teenager with my brother and his friends. I was like sitting there. He told me he showed me his third edition. It wasn't 3.5, it was third edition book, and he told me that I could make a character and play. And I read that book so much to try to make a bunch of different characters and like be so ready. And I played, I think, only one time, and then I didn't play anymore. Um,
That
and
is right. You
so,
make like the best character. He's probably like the perfect like everything, you know?
hmm. Yeah,
Just to
I was
play the
so
one.
young that I like don't remember the book at all.
Yeah.
Except like I remember a lot of like the equipment, and I specifically remember the barbarian art of the barbarian character. But other than that,
Nice.
it was I started back up again 5e with Jared, who used to be on our team in I think it was 2018, no 2017 or 2018, something like that. I started playing 5e with him, um, and then kept playing, having a ton of fun, and that was kind of what drove me to create the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember my
Oh well.
friend's fourth edition had come out. I didn't know anything about the editions. I just know that they were playing D&D. And so I was like, "Oh, cool. Like I want to play." And they're like, "Great. We'll make you the dungeon master." And I was like, "What's that?" And they literally threw like not threw, but they gave me the books, right, that I needed. And I
Nice.
ran one game for them and they liked it. But we just never met up again. It's just the way that kind of that went. So.
Yeah.
But I still remember coming up with a crazy wild story, and they liked it, and it was tons of fun. You remember the stories, you remember the fun you had, and that's I think what's really cool about what we're doing here is like, hey, we're making heroes and stuff that are gonna make fun stories around your table, right, around the world. So
Hmm. Yeah. And then obviously everybody sharing it and talking about the game and playing the game, we appreciate so much. So definitely appreciate
yeah,
that, Agile Monk, and that's so cool to think that you were involved in early times, the roots of the hobby. That's awesome.
mhm.
And Mike, I can only imagine that the Satanic Panic kind of area was interesting to be playing D&D during.
Right.
Forever DM bullet touched. Yeah.
I still am a forever DM. I'm a
Yeah.
forever comic editor now, and I'm okay with it. I like it.
Hey, I
So
I run games for you sometimes.
yeah, yeah, true,
Well, we're
true.
usually not playing in the same groups though, because we're trying to make sure we get
We're trying
more
to
groups to play
spread
with.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually we're both being comic editors, but
We'll have
not
to
in the
do
same group.
yeah, we'll have to be going to Peter's GM day off again, and do that. So
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so DM Dungeon Mastery, the Teen Titan-esque variety of heroes you have, we love that. Um and then that I'm not super well versed in superhero media, Teen Titans and Invincible are the two biggest influences on it. It's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's it's okay too. Like I wouldn't want anyone to have to know about I don't know the limits or the backstory of all these really cool supers that have existed for since the golden age of comics or something. Like just
Hmm.
jump in and have fun with it. I think that's the number one thing. But yeah, we try to make our starting like 10 folks that are our pre-generated characters be stuff that is just fun that they have like really cool starting points for their story that somebody could really go and explore you
Hmm.
know um Nightwave, who is our lead psionics, psionics arbiter, she doesn't know exactly where her family went. She woke up in a lab and she had these psionic powers and she busted open from the lab and ran away. And so what can
Yeah.
you do with that, right? Like who was from that lab, where did she get those powers, blah, 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 right? Why did she get these powers? Like all these things that you could pursue at a table
Hmm.
easy enough.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely so much flexibility with supers stories, and
Exactly.
um, yeah, just
Mhm.
tons of stuff. So it's lots of fun, and we're super excited for the campaign to keep on going.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah,
for sure. So I think one more question you think for now?
yeah. If there's any more questions, I think we scheduled this for an hour. It was pretty impromptu, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. If anyone else has things they would like to say
Yeah.
or ask,
Um, but but we
absolutely.
have another one next Thursday. As I look at my calendar to quadruple check.
Yeah, we do have
Yeah,
the Q and
next
A
Thursday.
next Thursday. Yeah,
Hmm.
so there's going to be
Yeah,
plenty of opportunity for people to ask more questions. Yeah, and we'll do the same thing in our Discord server where we'll ask preemptively some questions leading up to
yeah,
that one. But
for sure.
yeah,
Awesome.
I think if
Well, we'll
not,
do a celebratory. Again.
yeah.
If you are
Oh yeah,
watching us, just dance with us as
I
we've launched. It's happened. We're
yes,
there.
yes,
Um,
yes,
but thank you. Thank you
yes.
a million.
Oh yeah, and you can't tell, but I'm dancing. I'm just very stiff.
Derek is great at parties. It's
Oh
fantastic.
yes, I am the
Yeah.
life of the party by standing awkwardly in the corner.
Probably talking to somebody about Indominant.
Yeah,
And nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man. That's
Yep.
great.
Thank you,
All right.
everybody.
Yeah.
And
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you, Mike and Novler. Definitely get some good rest in. If you can't dance, you must have done leg day. Leg day's rough. That's for sure.
Rough. For sure. Alrighty, everyone. Have an
Yeah.
amazing night, day, morning, wherever you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Oh, we got a question last minute there. Oh, Chris, that is my sister-in-law's boyfriend. He was laughing about
Oh.
the term crunchy. He didn't understand what it meant, and I explained it to him because
Oh, nice.
he's not um, a TTRPG player, and so I was explaining to him what it meant. So that's why he's having fun asking the
While you were at a
question.
party in the
Uh,
corner?
maybe no, no.
That's
So
exactly what happened. Anyways.
yes, and yes, it is
Bye, Chris.
crunchy, crispy.
Yes. Super crunchy, crisp, extra crisp on the
Yes,
side.
but easy to learn. Easy to learn. That's the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Uh, have a great night, and we'll see you next week at the very latest. Otherwise, we'll have some updates throughout the week, and um, yeah, you'll be seeing a lot from us. We'll start working on the playtest packet, and once the campaign's over, we'll get that ready to send out to everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay.